Nicola, come a little closer. We want to see you.
Oh, hello, people. How are you?
We want at least a headshot.
Here I am.
There you are. Hi, everybody. Are we having a good hair day?
Hello. I'll be just a minute. I'll change the light on my screen because it's really pale. But it's going to cut off maybe. No, it doesn't actually. And also I'll turn
So
off
that's
this.
Alexandra from England. And we're about to get Arina.
Well, I'm actually...
Erini has just joined the house. Hi, Erini. We know you're hiding behind a camera over there. By the way, I do remote viewing, so I can tell what you're doing over there. So don't try to hide it.
Oh, brilliant. Can you?
I can see the naked lady behind you with her tiny little swimsuit thing.
Oh, yes.
Adorable. Oh my goodness. All right, it's a family.
Guarding the piano, but maybe we shouldn't have nipples showing just in case people get offended. So we can see the backside.
Some countries they've liberated the nipples and the vagina, so who knows what's going on anymore.
Have you where's everybody? Have they not arrived yet?
Well, the ones that you see here on the screen have all agreed to be here and have made arrangements to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just posted on Facebook about 15-20 minutes ago that this is now live. Anybody could join with or without paying. And right now it's our game. We get to do what we want with it.
Great.
Oh, I'll drink to that.
Is this aged urine?
This is 2 days.
Oh wow, cool.
But what I've been experimenting with is, and I haven't figured it out. I think I figured it out. Someone introduced me to drying. Can you hear me, Nicola?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In 2018, I went to the Water of Life Symposium in Las Vegas at a hotel. We had ADP drinkers from across the country met and fell in love with each other and got to have excellent speakers on the subject. I got to give a brief talk. And we met a woman named Dr. Rosalind Hanson, and she passed around a little 1-ounce glass jar with a lid on it with 9-month-old dried aged urine. She had the crystals, and she was telling us, this is what Ormus gold is, alchemical Ormus gold. And so people have been sending me pictures, and I'm about at the point now where I'm going to figure out how to dry my own somewhere out in the sun and see what it does.
Wow. And so it would never get contaminated with anything, I guess, if it just dries like that.
It won't get contaminated. It can't get contaminated. It's the most antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral water on the planet. So whatever it touches, it alchemizes.
Wow.
However, you might want to put a screen or a cloth over it so bugs won't fly in there.
Yeah, of course.
Anything airborne. So today we are going to have a class, and it happens to be at the magic number of 1008, according to the clock here in Colorado. It's a 1008. It's the same as a 108. You know what that number represents?
No.
108 is the number of beads on a mala, a prayer bead. There's 108 beads, and each one represents the name of God. And the Hindus believe that there are 108 names of God. So when they chant, they spin each bead around their fingers until they go 108 times. So they've mentioned everybody.
Wow.
So for whatever that's worth, I've always liked the number 108.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we have in Christian Orthodox tradition, like the little, we call them brojanica, which kind of is like has 30 or 33 kind of those, circles, and then you like pray and you count your prayers like that. And yeah, monks do that like some of them do that like 24/7, like all day,
Yeah, well, it's the same with the Hare Krishnas. You see them walking around with that little white sack and their hand inside the sack. They're spinning their beads because it's a personal journey and they don't care to share with anybody. So they say if you continually chant or seek ye first the kingdom of God, then worldly concerns and discordant thoughts won't interrupt your thinking, and you can be peaceful all day.
Yeah, people say that like lazy mind is the best resting place for evil or something like that.
Yeah,
Best, like playground for evil or something.
something like that. The devil's playground.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's to you. We're going to get started. Today, we're going to talk about the basics. Did you need to go grab some, Alexandra?
I must go and get some refreshments. I will be back.
Yeah, the tap is ready for you. Go ahead. Isn't this fun, Alexandra? You can embarrass women on camera.
Do remote viewing that far, can you?
They can embarrass us. Last time we had the World Urine Therapy Conference call, I couldn't get away to go to the bathroom, so I just stuck a jar into the chair and peed in front of everybody, and nobody cared. So what the heck?
Yeah, that's cool, especially like if you make a camera like this to see only from my neck up, you can do whatever you like down there.
Whatever
But,
you want. And there are some guys who are trying to sneak as close as they can to showing it on camera without like being too going over the moral fabric of people's thinking. So what they would do is they would turn just to the right angle where it's coming out, and the cameraman would get angle it just where the stream comes into the jar.
I can imagine that as some kind of a ad for like a film or something, like water of life, like dropping.
Water of life, every drop is precious. Yep. We're working on it. Have you? Oh, welcome back.
Oh, yo.
All right, you got something, Nicola?
I don't have it presently.
All right, we'll do a quick prayer. By the way, these are my books. If you haven't seen them, Alexandra.
I've seen the one on your left, but I've not got it, unfortunately, yet.
This one?
Yeah, I've
Right.
seen it on Amazon, but not. Oh.
All right, this one. Can you see it right, or is it backwards?
No, that's good. That's the right way.
All right,
Manual for therapy teachers and therapists.
yeah, this one, 275 pages, baby. This one came out December of last year.
Oh, no. Yes. Okay.
Okay, and Nicola, you haven't seen this yet. I'm very excited. Book just came out in Spanish, and
Oh.
I'm about to get my French version, which will be here any day now.
Oh, great.
Now,
That's good.
If you know anybody who can translate into Hindi, or Russian, or German, send them my way.
Right.
All right, so cheers.
Cheers to you.
May the water of life bring you great health and happiness, and open ways for other people to find their way to the water through your example. Blessings.
Yes. Good speech.
Cheers, people. I don't have it mine here now, but
If you don't have it, you can do what the Guptas do. They just hold up their hand, and it's symbolic.
yeah.
And there we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
I've never drunk urine in front of anybody before. Well, not anybody I didn't know. It's an interesting feeling.
Well, times are changing. We're at a point now where we have enough courage to meet all our fears and our considerations. Since I've been around the Shibambu, now I started in 1994, so this is my 27th year. That's a lot of pee drinking, I gotta tell you. That's a lot of times catching. But I've had people who just met me, and they felt my passion and my commitment and my devotion to this water, and went and collected their water and came back and drank it in front of a stranger on camera, first time. So it all depends on where you are mentally.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
Brother Sage, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, go for it.
I was thinking, I was reading in I have your two urine therapy books, but I also have one from some Russian writer that has like a Serbian translation, and they were talking about HIV and AIDS, and I just happen to know somebody who is very worried about that. It's like one of my I don't know the person personally,
Yes.
but I heard from like one of my family members that their friend It's a female, and yeah, I would like to know what would you recommend about HIV and AIDS, because there is some concerns, like people do crazy stuff.
Yeah. And I love to work with people who are dealing with the quote unquote incurables.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, are you listening, Alexandra? I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
you guys with some heavy Shivambu truth here. One is the only thing you cannot heal. There's only one thing you cannot heal. Do you know what that is?
That. But you
Brain
believe
injury.
that you can be more
Physical injuries, no?
No, it's simpler than that. It's all in here. The only thing you can't heal is what you say you can't heal.
Oh,
That's how powerful the mind is. Everything's been healed on this planet except for the people who have resistance to their ability to heal themselves.
why do we do that? Why do we have resistance?
Because we've given our power away to society, the doctors, all kinds of authorities other than our own innate knowing.
Oh.
And let me tell you, there's only two reasons people get sick. If you want to simplify it, and I'll tell you how we can get to the healing here in a little bit.
Mhm.
The two reasons people get sick, it's either what you eat or what's eating you.
Yeah, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
A lot of people are sick because they get into worry, they get into fear, they get into doubt, they get into guilt, and all these things eat away at themselves. And if it goes far enough, they get cancer or diabetes or candida. Take a breath.
Or even worse, like I know I was reading that there are some people who stress themselves so much that, for example, they will have horrible nightmares while they're processing those things in the dreams. Like they're making a, bridge between subconscious and conscious, and that comes out. And people get so stressed they literally die. They get a heart attack in a dream, and they just blow up completely like a balloon or something.
Yeah, or they combust on fire. People have been known to do spontaneous combustion. I don't know if you've
Where
heard
does that come from, that combustion?
Well, it could be that they have so much fermentation in their gut that things in their gut turn to fire. Or they have so much repressed rage and anger, they blow themselves up.
Makes sense.
Who knows? Alexandra,
Yes.
I would love you, sweetie, if you'd be willing to share with the folks here how you got started with Shivambu. What was your inspiration? Did you have an illness, or are you feeling the need to try something new? Or what got you started, and what's been your experience?
Well, I started when I was about 23 or so. I found an Indian book with a paragraph of the urine therapy in it. And so I went back to the shop in the Indian Quarter and found a urine therapy book. So I bought a couple. And so I did practice it, not very much, just drinking a tiny amount, like for maybe a year or so, and then gave it up. And then I started again recently because my eyes were aching from too much computer screen. And putting urine, I remembered, was good. Then I thought, why don't I start a bit again? Get a cup in the morning.
Keep these around. Keep these around. Keep these around. Cotton balls?
Yeah.
Cotton pads?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time you think about it, dip it in the urine and clean and refresh your eyes. This is also great for skin conditions, blemishes. If you've got cuts, if you cut yourself shaving, go to your armpit or wherever. I mean, I always keep urine around. It's my first aid of choice.
So you would do it every time you go for a pee?
Well, whenever you think about it throughout the day. I mean, if you're in the bathroom anyway, I usually have some stored in the bathroom, in my bedroom, and all kinds of places. So wherever I'm at, if guidance comes in and says, hey, you need to put some on your skin, or you need to leave some in your belly button. I mean, when we teach the class about the protocols, you realize there's 24 protocols you can use. But this is just quick refreshers. Okay? These you buy everywhere. They look like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing you want to do, by the way, do you have the full protocol list that I wrote?
I'm not sure.
Well, two things. One, it's in this book. I mean, this has
I need to get the book, don't I?
This has the 11 protocols. This one, the new book, has 24 protocols, and all the new ones that I discovered during the last 2 years.
Yeah, I didn't look at it because I thought, oh, it will be in Hindu or something from the picture.
Yeah, that's Shiva and Parvati.
but it's in English. Yeah.
Okay,
It's not-
now, right now, the guys over at Shivambu and Shivambu Hut, this is my nonprofit organization called shivambu.org. We're giving away the 49-page PDF color, I don't know if it's color, PDF version of all the protocols from the book. And all you have to do is send an email and you'll get it back at email.
Oh, right. Well, that would be nice.
Yeah, the guys are working on giving away all kinds of gifts every week or so, including I'm working on a calendar for people who want to challenge themselves to do more protocols on a 28-day cycle.
Oh, okay.
It's called saturation dosing.
Wow.
Well, hi, Nicola's back in the house.
Hello. Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
I just mentioned some of the things we're giving away at Shivambu. One is the UT Protocols calendar.
Oh yeah, I would like to get it.
It's a 28-day calendar that has protocols that you do on a regular basis, every other couple of days, when to fast, when to do enemas, when to do foot soaks, eye washes, ear rinses. So you have a structure and a way to motivate yourself.
Yeah, and that way I can keep everything in track, and yeah, that would be very useful for me too, because these days I'm like traveling everywhere and meeting all these farmers and everything. Yesterday actually I just learned how to cut sheep, and yeah, I know how to haircut a sheep now, and I was walking like 300 sheep, and it was so cool. So yeah, I can use that, because like for cutting the sheep's hair, your hands need to be very strong, and I can put, I guess, my hands in the urine to nourish, and then like practice to squeeze something, and then I can like do it like pro.
Exactly. Now, the other day we had a sweat lodge here at the property. Alexandra, you familiar with a sweat lodge?
Yeah, I've done one before.
Okay, I live at a retreat center called Sanctuary Garden, and we have a sweat lodge in the back that was built by the guidance of a Hopi Arapaho elder teacher. So everything was set perfectly. Traditionally, we prayed every 2 hours, and all that stuff. And what we did was get it ready for the community. We had 9 people came here last Saturday, and I got down on my hands and knees and got a grass clipper, and I was clipping all around it so people wouldn't step on sharp objects, because everyone's barefoot around there. And it really worked out my forearm, and I had bruises on my fingers, but a day after putting urine in my hands and my arms, the pain went away.
Is that aged urine or?
Well, whatever you got. Whatever you got. Now, I want to tell you, since you brought up the subject, I call aged urine something different. Everybody has a name for everything on this planet. I call it evolving urine or evolving urine, because the moment it leaves your bladder, the moment you gather it, it's in a process of creating more stem cells, more antibodies, more potency. So it's actually just like us in our consciousness, it's evolving.
Do you mean antibodies in this are growing, like they're copulating, like separating and making more?
Well, the water itself produces it. So I don't know if the antibodies are reproducing or it's just creating more, and it shows in there. I mean, you're going to have to need a microscope to understand that.
Yeah, I would really like to know, do the stem cells really reproduce in there too?
Yep. I mean, when it's first made, they've determined, they've determined there's trillions of stem cells. That's a lot.
In urine?
Yes. There's also 3,000 compounds, substrates, substances, and nutrients in there that are for perfect human consumption.
Oh, yeah.
So as it stays in a container, minute by minute, day by day, week by week, month by month, et cetera, it's evolving. The reason I use the word evolving, because the word age is a polarizing word. Some people hear the word age, they go, oh, how disgusting, that's going to be old urine.
Yeah. Yeah, playing the terminology can really set a different structure. So brother, like what would you recommend for AIDS and HIV? Like what type of urine, how much age? Because like I mean, not to recommend, but like give a friendly suggestion. Because
Yeah.
I was reading that urine therapy book that I had before I got yours, that some woman was she had like AIDS and HIV, and she was drinking her urine for like 10 days or a month, something like that. And then she was like, oh, when I got the next checkup, nothing was there.
Okay, it's on, the answer is on page 146 of this book. I've laid out all what's called general treatment suggestions. Since, let me remind you, we're not doctors, we're not trained medical professionals. So we give suggestions. Got it? We're not giving, we're not doing any analysis, we're not diagnosing, we're not doing any prescriptions. We're saying, generally, this would be a treatment for AIDS. For example, everybody starts off with oral consumption and nasal consumption, because you want to clear out all the sinuses, you want to get it into your full system, and you want to build the immune system. So according to the teachers that I study with, they say for AIDS, you use saturation dosing, drinking, massage, and enemas. Okay, but AIDS, AIDS is an emotional, psychological thing as well for all these people who got, well, usually AIDS is from same sex, right?
Or from like opposite sex with a person that is that has it like that.
Okay, so it's sexually related.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people have guilt associated with their sexuality that brings that on, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I would say they got to change everything. They got to change their diet, their lifestyle, their attitude, their spiritual practices, and do a lot of self-forgiveness.
But like, for example, if there is like, I don't know that person's personally, so I don't really know their way of life, but if I could say to them to apply urine as a like first stepping stone, so to say, like what is the best thing for me to say? Like drink like just few cups throughout the day, or just
okay, we're going to go down, we're going to go deeper than that. We got to find out if these people are motivated. You got to find out their why, see if there's a fire behind it. Will they commit to do what it takes to get healed and be well? Because if they're not, it's going to be hit or miss. It's like I have friends who dabbled in urine therapy. They drink 3 ounces during the day. They think they're doing awesome. And I say, yeah, you're doing awesome, but you want to be freaking awesome? We got to step it up.
Yeah.
So you got to find out their motivation.
Yeah, I guess I will have to talk more with that friend of mine.
Yeah, the reason I bring it up is because when I do consultations with people, I'm not the guy who's going to say, hey, drink your urine, have a good journey. You know, if you're really doing service to people, you want to look in their life, you want to probe, you want to investigate, find out what all this is, because you can put them on a course that they would miss it. And you can empower them in ways you can't by just dropping the idea of take 2, call me in the morning like a doctor would. Because if people are just drinking, it's like a Band-Aid. If they're not changing their bad habits, their bad ways of thinking, you know, how they treat themselves, it's going to be a longer way to heal.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the things it reminds me, because I was studying very much these motivational speakers and things like that. And like, for example, Jim Rohn, he was very legendary, and he was saying, like, that's how I interpret it, that there is a big difference between becoming a millionaire and being a millionaire. Like if there is a big difference between homeless people who wins lottery and like he has $1 million, and the person that has a quality of character to be a millionaire. So like that's the same kind of health. Like you cannot just put people into health to practice health, to like eat better, drink better, and stuff like that. You need to heal their mindset first, so they automatically become healthier. They cannot act it out.
Yeah, and when these people go through the transformation and they reclaim their body and their mind and their health returns, oh yeah, these people are going to tell other people.
Could I ask you to do a consultation at some point? I've not talked about my problems, but I've talked about.
I do private one-on-ones all across the planet. The first initial meet and greet is free. And then if you want to go further with me, you feel like we're a fit, then we can discuss a fee. Does that make sense?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'd like to go ahead.
Wonderful. Ernie is definitely, she's listening. She's still here, but she's not. Can you see her name?
No, I can't see. Just very strange. This only see your picture and nobody else.
When Nicola came on, could you see him?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, when he comes on, I can see him. but I can only see him, not you. You disappear. So if you've gone to make a cup of tea, we'll never know.
Yo, yo.
All right. Did you bring back your cup of tea?
Yeah, sometimes something happens, so I need to turn on the camera and stuff.
So I'm one of the guys who's behind the urine therapy movement big time. I'm in front of the camera a lot. I'm teaching classes, creating instructional videos, running a nonprofit organization and a social media network that has 228 members right now, the Shivambu Hut. All the major speakers on the planet know me. It's been a joy to be in the spotlight a lot because we need to keep the focus. We're at a tipping point in our self-health care on this planet. People are pretty much waking up as fast as they can, realizing the medical profession has lied to them and let them down. And if anybody's going to make it, we have to make it on our own. So we can do this by doing urine therapy and teaching people.
Yeah. Yeah, people always like to blame like circumstances and these things like things outside of themselves, but actually they just look at the mirror, they can find a lot of answers there.
A lot of answers. So I got the key points written down. By the way, I'm old school. I still write all my appointments down and schedules and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Remember these day timers? I still write journals and I draw pictures, but I'm from that generation. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know why it's called Shivambu?
It's an Indian word, isn't it?
Yes.
For
What does it mean?
therapy. It's not because they did it 2,000 years ago already, or a long time ago.
5,000 years ago, Shivambu, take the word divided apart. The very last of the word, which is AMBHU, means water. Shiva.
Oh, yeah.
So you're drinking either, you can interpret it as the water of Shiva or blood of the Lord. Because what we're drinking is golden blood plasma water that's been filtered 1 million times through a sophisticated chamber of filtration systems in the kidney called the nephron.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know this stuff because if you're ever going to be approached by a non-pee drinker, a non-believer, and you know that you have something that could save their health and their life, you've got to find ways to explain it to people without being triggered by people's negative associations. And so this is why I wrote about it in the book, because none of the authors addressed it. Well, how do I tell somebody I'm going to be embarrassed, or they might think I'm in a cult or I'm crazy or nothing like that? Well, when you're armed with the knowledge of what this really is and what it's not, and people come up to you and say it's a waste product, first thing I say to them is, where did you get that idea from? Because most people just repeat things without doing research. Anyway, we lost Nicola.
Yeah, I'm here.
The reason I mentioned the blood of the Lord, because this is what urine is. And so after receiving the blood plasma from the liver, it's sent to the kidneys and it runs it through a filtration process, and then it's ready for you. What's so amazing about the innate intelligence of our body, Alexandra, is that, yes. I know she's still here.
I'm listening.
When the body is starting to form, it's a little zygote, it's a little teeny thing, and the embryo is starting to take shape and form. The body is encoded with information and energy on how to regenerate cells back to perfect cells. And so Shiva comes with that information and energy stored in it. And so what it's doing is it's doing a scan on your body. So when the medicine's made, it's made to the exact needs of the body at that particular time of your healing. So it's good to get intuitively dialed into your signal or notification from the bladder. When it's time to pee, that's a celebration time. You can either sip it and collect it. That's what we call sip looping, or you can drink it all day. Yesterday, I did a urine fast all day up to about 1:30 and then broke it with blueberries, mangoes, and bananas. It was an awesome day. So Shivambu, I'm going to read the statement, and if you guys can give me what you feel that means, then I can learn from you. So here's the statement. Shivambu, or Oren, I seldom use the word urine. It depends on who we're talking to. Shivambu alchemizes anything it touches. What do you think that means?
Like everything becomes the urine, like whatever comes in contact with it.
Yeah, what it does is it neutralizes it, and it causes it to evolve and match the vibration of Shivambu. So people who are concerned about, well, I was swishing it in my mouth and gargling it, and I didn't feel I should swallow it because germs that come out of the gums and the tongue and the lips, I don't want to swallow that. I said, well, that's an old paradigm thinking. What if you discovered that Oren alchemized the germs in your mouth and it wasn't a threat to your system? You wouldn't spit it out. So when people are doing pulling, it's one of the protocols that's in the book. Pulling is like what you did with coconut oil pulling. You just leave it in your mouth longer each time.
And then swallow it.
That's why.
Okay. Yeah, I was scared to do that. I wasn't sure. After 10 minutes or 15 minutes of it going around, because it collects some of the mucus from the back of the throat as well, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and if you bring it up the nose, it'll clear out all the mucus that's up in the higher sinuses, and you have a chance to uncalcify your pineal gland. And for all the people who are wanting to move into 5D and to have an activated pineal gland that brings out the oil, the sacred oil that leads to enlightenment, drinking it up the nose or sniffing it up the nose or squeezing it up the nose or doing a neti pot on one side and sniffing up the nose is going to cross the blood-brain barrier, this really thin membrane, and access the higher regions of the brain and all the glands. So if you're like me and you had a lot of resistance to drinking up the nose, get over it.
It's really hard with
I had to.
Sorry.
I had to make a note there when people are trying to get it through the nose. People need to get a balanced amount on both sides. Because one time I felt like very adventuristic and I wasn't measuring nothing. And I was putting it into one side and then another a little bit more. And I felt like one side of my brain is getting more than another because it does pass through some small bone that is in the nose. It literally goes to the brain.
Yeah.
And then I had to lay on my inclined bed and somehow I survived. But I then made note to myself, like, next time I need to use numbers.
Well, I've been examining all the guys that are talking about nasal drinking. So we've come up with all kinds of different alternatives. I mean, the simplest way would be just like go to the bathroom, like you're going to take a bath. And while the water's filling up, collect some in your hand or bring some with you and just snort it hard up in your nose.
Oh my God.
Simple. There's your cup right there. Okay. The other version, and this was taught to me by Samuel G. Cohen. He wrote the book. If you want a free copy of it, it's drinkingthroughthenose.com.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we had a chat about 3 or 4 months ago, and he said the simple thing to do is hold some in your mouth, right? And then you want to go to one nostril, tip your head back, and there's a certain way that you drop your jaw and you work the muscle behind your, right in here, so you can bring it back up into the sinuses and it goes back your throat without going through the mouth.
Is that maybe similar like mewing? You want to put the urine in and put the tongue on top of your palate?
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal. While your mouth is occupied with being full, the urine's getting past the backside of your throat. And it's for people who her sinuses get clogged up here, people who are smokers, they tend to gag a lot and cough a lot. Now, keep this in mind that when you first start drinking through the nose, you might have a gag reflex, because if you're dehydrated up there, it takes a few practices to get it down.
Even when I started, like the first time I drank it through the mouth, I mean, it was probably because of my programming from society. It was like the most disgusting thing I ever tasted in my life so far. And then when I took it the second time and the third time, I mean, I felt the benefits from the first time, but just the taste, it was horrible. And then the second time and third time, it was kind of nice. And now I can even I don't know, eat cooked meat or whatever and drink it, and it's not a problem or whatever.
Yeah, you get used to it. Like it took me a while to get used to drinking evolving urine. And now I got the point where like this is 24 hours. You bring it to your mouth, and even before you swallow it, if you have that disgust factor, then you got to work that out. Because now every time I bring it to my lips, I'm celebrating. I'm going, oh my God, I get to have my medicine now. It's all a switch in your mind.
Yeah, and it's not like the same as smoking and drinking. Like some people are saying, like when you start smoking, first time you cough and then you get used to it. It's not like that because you feel the beneficial effect of it. You feel better, and if you want to leave it, you can leave it and not use it anymore. But in terms of like smoking and drinking, you get addicted to it, and then so it's a different type of renewing your mind, so to say.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up, because I remember when I was like 15, learning to smoke, and my parents were with their friends and they're out drinking and playing cards, and this guy takes me out in the backyard and he had a Camel cigarette with no filter on it, and that was my introduction to smoking cigarettes. And I coughed and I coughed, and you have to teach yourself to learn to take in poison. The same with alcohol, but I couldn't last with that one because I like to stay aware.
Yeah, I never tried smoking cigarettes. I tried like one time I tried something, but it was very.
Could I ask a question, please,
Yes,
about the evolved urine?
Yes.
Is it normal that it's really stingy? I have some that's maybe a month old now, and I tried to drink it and it put my mouth on fire. It's like eating Sichuan pepper, and it sort of damages the tongue somehow. And then I can't taste anything for ages. And then I tried bathing my eye, and it was so painful. It just didn't. Well, I thought I read somewhere that you should, but it's. And then I tried up the nose, and that was awful, really painful. So I never did it again. So, but what can we do with that? Just drink it.
Well, thank you. It's a great question. Some people report that the sting goes away after a few seconds. It's the initial contact with the organ in the eyes, the nose, wherever, and it goes away because it's more potent than the normal fresh. And the stuff that starts to come out, I mean, the ammonia eventually evaporates, and it may just smell that way forever. Who knows? I mean, I've got some that are a year old, 3-year-old. The oldest I have is 3 years old. And it still has a smell, but I get past it because I'm dropping it under my tongue. I carry a little 1-ounce dropper bottle. So throughout the day, if I feel like my brain is not fully online, or if my energy is not there, I take 1 or 2 dropperfuls, and the taste goes like in a few seconds. I go, okay, that's that pepper taste. And then my energy comes back.
Oh.
So you said that ammonia drops after some time. I know that
Evaporates.
Yeah, because I was kind of researching how people used to live in old days, and I know that women in England, they would collect urine that was old up to 3 weeks and use that to wash their clothes and stuff like that. So is that like a maximalization of ammonia, and then later on it drops, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a question for someone who understands chemistry more than I do. But the part of the process, maybe it just evaporates, but you have to find somebody who understands how to explain chemistry.
Yeah, because I thought like, well, when I saw that video of one guy who has YouTube videos about how people lived in the 18th century and baking bread and everything, and I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna take a note. And I like took a note, and I was like, well, why wouldn't I like pee for 2 years and keep it so I have supplies forever, And but yeah, if it evaporates after some time, then I guess people need to know the dose.
Yeah, well, I've got about 6 gallons stored at my house right now, but I'm doing more urine baths and more foot soaks and more various uses from it, because I don't need to collect it, to set to aim for a certain date, or to just leave it for someday I'll need it. I want to get as healthy as I can on a daily basis, so I'm always playing with it. If I'm out in the yard and I step on something, I'm going to pee on my foot, or a bee sting, or a suntan, or whatever it is. I'm always using that as my first aid of choice.
Yeah.
The other neat thing is when you get used to using it when you're bathing and massaging yourself, you'll discover you don't have to buy shampoo and conditioner. You don't have to buy underarm deodorant. And at some point, you don't buy supplements. That's just for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Because, and that's like the difference between, because I was seeing that some people are using distilled water for washing. I was bathing myself with distilled water like for 6 months, not using any soaps or anything. And I think I had girlfriends at that time stuff, and nobody think that I stink or nothing. But I was washing my hair too. But after like 6 months, those white things started to collect in my hair. So you think that to be removed with the urine? That urine has bigger magnetic power than distilled water?
Well, let's see. You see the color of my hair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Alexandra, I need a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, see the color of my hair?
Well, it's natural colored unless you tint it with something.
I know I massaged it, oil in it this morning in my bath, but this is the hair of a man who's going to be 67 on the 25th of this month.
Oh, amazing.
This is what a 67-year-old man looks like on this planet, who's been raw foodist and fruitarian and doing urine for years.
So your hair is growing back?
Yeah, I have another question about the hair.
My hair gets darker every time I use it.
So yeah, I have another question about hair. When people are starting urine therapy, they want to have like better hair quality. Would it be better maybe to shave bald and use your urine for new hair to grow on, or would that be optimal maybe?
Well, that brings up another one of the key points about Shivambu. Thank you for getting me going on that one. Shivambu is an intuitive medicine. If your intuition says shave your head and create new sprouts and brand new growth, trust it, do that. If your intuition says just massage it in your hair every day and rub it in your scalp, well, it's not, do that, but it's not only going to help the hair, but if anybody has any mental disorders or brain injuries or concussions, that's going to help people with the brain problems.
Yeah, and maybe I was thinking there is certain types of urine that people can maybe after they eat some food, maybe they can take a note of what they ate, and after they pee a distillation of that down, maybe they can use that kind of urine. Because I mean, I'm drinking raw milk and raw eggs, and after I drink 10 raw eggs and I use that urine to wash myself, I feel very, very peaceful and very mentally clear, probably because of the vitamin A. But when I'm drinking raw milk and do the same, my skin gets smoother and stuff, but I feel just usual, like nothing special.
Yeah, definitely note the before and after use of it, because you're going to get better and better of being able to read your moods, read your energy dips, read your health challenges, and know which protocols to use and when. I mean, it's taken me years to figure that out. Folks that are getting migraines, they go for a urine enema right as soon as they can think about it. If the migraine comes on, then you got toxins that are being reabsorbed and they're making their way up to the brain, or there's parasites that are fighting for your nutrition. So you want to get that colon cleaned as soon as possible and get orin in your bloodstream. And for me, I used to be, when I had the migraines, it would take me 6 hours to clear it out to be functional. And I got to where I can do it in 2 hours and probably less.
So I want to also ask you about enemas, because you said that you heard about the protocol of drinking like 1 liter of urine in the morning or like as soon as you wake up to flush out everything. I kind of tried that I don't know, months ago or a year ago or something, and yeah, it flushed out everything to the point that my stomach feels completely empty. So is that like a replacement for enema? Like, for example, if somebody went on a 1 liter per drinking session in like 3-day fast or something.
Well, when I do the 1 liter thing, and I hope other people, I'm sure everyone's going to have a various experience with it. Within about 20 minutes, I would say 20-30 minutes, I'm having 5 rapid waves of bowel movements, one after another. It's not uncommon for me to have 5 bowel movements while sitting on the toilet. And then 2 hours later, I'll drink some more. And then 2 hours later, I got 2 more waves of bowel movements. Wow, that's like cleansing the entire GI tract.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get those kind of results, you did an enema.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also wanna stretch that like for me, I like excrete like things much better if I'm like squatting, because like sitting in 90-degree ankle on your toilet is kind of like not relaxing your muscles to like get a poop out, right?
Mhm.
So like when I drink a lot of urine, I usually feel like small stomach pain, but then when I go to poop, I feel like relief, like it's like coming out like a tap water, you know, like very smooth, very nice.
Yes, and if you notice, there's less need to force it out or use your muscles to
Oh
assist
yeah,
the body.
yeah, it comes out just right, just easy, just because I used to have like in elementary school, like I was pooping every day, maybe 5 hours a day.
Mhm.
I couldn't, and it was kind of cool when I was in elementary school because I can just hide while other people are in the class and I can like chill out and be like, oh, I have an excuse, you know. I can miss this exam and that exam, but like now I just 10 seconds everything's out.
Excellent. So your ability regenerates. You're going to notice that starts getting go faster. So the times you were down and you were sick and you're exhausted, that's not going to run its course like it used to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For all of you, notice it. Now, when you're doing an enema in a bath, there are people say, well, it's cold. I don't want to put cold urine in my bum. Well, you can add hot water. It's just going to be diluted, but at least it'll be more comfortable. It's the same with a foot soak. If you don't want to step in cold urine, you can add some hot water to it. It's going to be more homeopathic, but it's still going to be effective. Now, the same with the bath. People say, well, when you do a urine bath, don't you have to collect like 8 to 10 gallons of pee? Well, in a real world scenario, you would. But
Yeah.
since it's alchemizing everything, when you just pee in the bathtub, you're neutralizing the effect of the chlorine and the toxins that the city puts in the municipal water. And I tell this because our concern, same with distilled water. People have such phobia about, oh, you drink distilled water out of a plastic bottle, or you swam in a bathtub that had city water with pee in it. You got to understand that Shivambu is greater than plastic. It's greater than city water.
Does the plastic, does it damage it? If they said in one of the books not to store it in plastic, what do you think of it? Do you think it would attract some of the plastic polymers and make it toxic to us?
I think it's the concern that brings it upon you. I had this talk with Harry Matadine, and he agreed with me that Shivambu is more powerful than plastic.
Yeah.
The concern about plastic. If you see some of the videos of people who come to the urine therapy conference call, people who live in Nigeria, Botswana, Amsterdam, in various places, their container is a plastic bottle because where they live, all they could get was a plastic juice bottle and they recycled it, or they went down to the trash and they cleaned out. That's all they could get, and it worked just fine. So
yeah, and in terms of that, maybe I can add that like Andrew Norton Weber, he was saying about how the distilled water is very magnetic. The urine is 90% water, so 90% distilled water, and even cleaner than what machines can make because your body is distilling it. And the things that are negatively charged are attracting toxins that are positively charged. So it's kind of like, you know, opposites attract, kind of like a sexual attraction or something. And so when you are taking distilled water like this is a distilled water from plastic I have. I'm buying it only when I go to town because sometimes I cannot bring a glass. I don't want to need to break in car drive or something. And what happens is that distilled water literally captures the plastic. It attracts them magnetically and it holds to it. So when you're drinking it, you're literally taking plastic right through you out. And it probably happens the same with urine.
well, do you know what the word distilled means?
Not still, like how to say?
Yeah, it means the opposite. If you take the word apart, DESTILL, well, it means the opposite of still, which means to activate it. Right. So all the people who are anti-distilled water haven't done the research. And besides,
they're
it pulls
anti-
out inorganic material. It didn't pull out organic matter.
Yeah, but also what I found is that the still water in urine kind of work a little bit different way. The distilled water, like for example, I'm now watching at a laptop, and I have like blue light blocker, but it's still like I can feel it in my eyes afterwards.
Mhm.
And I found that if I drink distilled water, the pressure comes from my eyes immediately.
Mhm.
But if I drink urine, I feel kind of energized, but it's less magnetic power in terms of like immediate relief.
Mhm.
So I don't know. And also if I'm with somebody who is smoking very much, I can drink distilled water and I feel like everything's coming out from my brain and I feel it was much better. But if I feel urine, it's kind of transforming it somehow over a longer period of time. So there is some difference there.
Mhm. Thank you. People have asked me for years, why is it some days I look sick and some days I look healthy? And I mentioned the emotional energy pollution, Alexandra, to you earlier. But the other thing is, you're out about, if you go out and about in a city, then you got all kinds of things that could contaminate you, from electromagnetic frequencies to 5G, to people who wear perfume and secondhand smoke. There's all kinds of things that come around us that we're not necessarily addressing. So whatever you can do to take care of your inner body and your energy field and your state of mind will allow you to stay peaceful and healthy throughout all these changes. And it helps to get a hug every day too.
Yeah.
You guys getting plenty of hugs out there?
Oh, I thought you meant for you, like you were getting a hug every day.
Girl, if I don't get 5 or 6 hugs a day, I feel deficient.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have clients. I have clients that I see all week long. I have my housemates. I have friends coming by. I'll just hug myself, whatever it takes.
Oh, really? I don't like hugging very much. The least, the better.
Okay, well then I'll give you a big hug and it'll make up for all those other hugs.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. We're getting close to the time here, but let's just keep going.
Yeah, I love hugs. That's like,
He's a hugger. You can tell he's a touchy person. When people now, I do massage and reflexology here in Boulder, and my practice has not slowed down one bit since the pandemic hit in March, because the word got out to my clients and other people that I was one of the few people who's actually touching other people. It was a therapeutic value to people that I'm still averaging 8 to 10 clients a week.
And they didn't mind you doing it, or obviously not, they were there, but yeah, was it supposed to be legal? You didn't get in trouble for it?
No, I don't get in trouble, but people were so concerned about, staying distant and being away from people that they even avoided massage therapists.
Yeah, like I don't think it was allowed in England to do it over the lockdown. You weren't allowed to see anybody close at all, unless it was medical reasons. So if you had dislodged shoulder, maybe you would.
That's medical reasons. So the people keep coming back, and I appreciate. Plus, a lot of my work is doing consultations through Zoom and through Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, people who are into medical stuff, they don't really go to health centers to get hugs.
No, but the people who are doing body work are still doing that, stay committed to it. Oh yeah, they got a good practice going. My roommate, he does reflexology. He's got a good practice going on. So here's a few more bullet points. I want to get through this really quick here. Shibambu is a universal panacea, which means it works regardless of what gender urine you use, whether it's male or female urine. It doesn't matter if it's from whatever race you have, black, white, brown, red, yellow, whatever. It doesn't matter the age of the person, and it doesn't matter the state of health of the person. So people say, well, I don't know if I should drink a woman's urine or I should drink a man's urine, or what if this person is a different this and that? I say it's all in your head. It's a universal panacea. And I've been known to drink my students' urine in front of them in a class just to show them that that was true.
But doesn't that mean you take the energy as well? But then you shake it off in the fire, by the fire.
Well, I don't have a belief that I take on anything.
Oh, yeah,
I'm drinking the same vibration that comes out of my body. It just happened to be from another source.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know they're at your vibration and not at theirs.
Well, then I'll double bless it, but it's never been a concern.
Oh,
And I hear stories all the time of, like, there was a friend of mine, Dr. Bunmi Samola out in Nigeria. When he was 10 years old, he was very sick, and his mom intuitively knew to feed him her urine. And he recovered, and 25 years later of practicing urine therapy, he's now one of the teachers on this planet. And so what I learned, it wasn't gender specific. So the people,
yeah, like
if you're in a spot and you can't urinate, and you've been stung by a bee, or you've been stung by a jellyfish, a man-o-war, or you have an anaphylactic shock, or some reason you cannot urinate, but someone next to you can, I would use that right away.
yeah, people even say that, like, for example, if you go to another country, what's that thing that people suffer from in Africa? You know, those mosquitoes, malaria. Yeah.
Malaria.
Yeah, when somebody goes to those kind of places, I was watching one guy on TEDx talk. He suggests that you find the healthiest looking person of the same gender. I mean, you can find anybody, but you know, approaching a woman and asking, "Oh, can you give me your pee?" Like, she would think all other stuff. Plus, yeah, like
would she hold it in the right frame of mind that she was doing him a favor?
I don't know, but he was saying that persons should drink urine from people who are around, because they build antibodies to that kind of particular disease or mosquito or whatever, and then like they can go and be stronger, and when mosquito bites them or pokes them, they can use less time to recover.
Oh.
Usually from my book that I have here that has Serbian translation, it says that it takes like 10 days to heal from malaria. So no need for any kind of medical interventions, I guess.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that a lot of the elder African people from the different nations out there still know about urine therapy, but because the medical profession and the powers to be have a way of changing our relationship to everything and our socializing, there's a lot of people don't know that they can heal themselves, or they wouldn't know about urine therapy unless they met someone like you and me.
Yeah, that's why I like reading books from people who actually went to nature, like Weston A. Price or Argenis or Arjun Planets or Dr. Richard Schultz or those kind of people who are going everywhere and like collecting data. But I also want to ask about the emotional thing. I was reading in that book that people shouldn't drink urine. There's like some 4 scenarios. First is like when somebody he took like antibiotics or something, and you don't want to like double take it through the urine. So they suggest that you should wait for 1-2 days. And they also say that if somebody was going through very bad emotional trauma, that they shouldn't drink their urine then at that point also. But I think that like if somebody had very bad emotional trauma, that they should drink it even more, because you know it just heals them even quicker.
All right, Alexander, did you catch that? He's using intuition. He's using intuition. This is not based on evidence or science.
Yeah, because I was like I kind of connect different things. There is a certain component in urine that cleans up your arteries that actually medical profession is using to extract to put on blood thinning medication. And like, for example, if you see in ancient scriptures, like for example, the Bible, they say that life is in the blood, because how your blood is flowing, how your circulation is going, that's how you're going to function. Like we're living in circulatory universe. So like I'm thinking if somebody has very bad emotional trauma and he drinks more urine than before, he's going to feel better, because he'll be more open to experience what's going on.
Exactly. And when you dig into the books, mine and other books, where there's a list of the nutritional ingredients in urine, you'll find things like magnesium, B vitamins, serotonin, melatonin, isotosin, DHEA, all kinds of nutrients, including amino acids that are known to relax the emotions and calm the adrenal glands and the nervous system. This is why people get relaxed, and when people drink their urine before bed, they often sleep better.
But what about if someone is like hasn't eaten properly for a long time, surely their urine will not contain so much magnesium and trace elements because their body hasn't got it to get rid of, has it?
Well, the body's going to produce it from the blood. It's not an elimination.
Yeah, but if that person is deficient in zinc, there won't be any zinc in the urine, surely.
The only way we're going to know is to examine everybody's urine. Get out your microscope, people. I would go for it every time. I wouldn't stop to analyze it or think it, because you're in a pivotal point in your health. And if you need to get healthy, and guys like me and folks around the planet are involved with this, and you might go, okay, I trust the process. You know, there's 30 million people doing this practice in 50 countries right now. There's a lot of yes to this practice and this use. We're not a weird cult. We're not a bunch of strangers. This is something that's real.
How many in Europe? Probably not
Good.
many in America.
Good question. I don't know the country count. When I'm on social media, you can see where most of the social media groups are based out of. I mean, there's a large percentage in Mexico and Spanish-speaking countries. There's 3 of them that are in Spanish. And there's a lot to be said about the different countries, but I haven't really gotten to that much research because that would be difficult without the right kind of software.
Yeah, that'd be fun to get count of all the different like the numbers. But yeah, what I wanted to just add a little bit is that maybe the only thing that can get contaminated in terms of urine is maybe UTIs, like urinary tract infections. And in that case, it's advised not to put urine in the eyes or probably in the nose. Maybe it's good for drinking, but me personally, I wouldn't really put it in my eyes.
Yeah, like once again, it's intuitive. Because the people who are not thinking that the doctor's diagnosis of UTI is really the problem there. I mean, everything's connected in all your systems and your emotions and your belief systems. So I would just, and that's just me. And some people say the urinary tract infection may not be in the bladder. It may not be in the kidney. It may be in the urethra. I don't know where exactly it's located. But in either case, you'd want to treat it like any other condition and get on it right away. You definitely you don't want to end up in a hospital.
Would you maybe suggest that people who have UTIs is maybe better to collect the urine from their family members or the friend or something until they heal, and after they are tested there is no more UTIs, then to use their own urine?
Well, that would be their call. I would say if they're afraid of drinking it, then I would use the other protocols so you can get it in your bloodstream. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got to follow your intuition. If your intuition says, I can't get over my concern and fear about it, but yet I can get it from my partner or my mother, then go wherever you feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah, especially it would be very cool if both partners, in a marriage or a relationship, would be using that. Then, for example, the biblical verse that says that man and woman, when they get to know each other, are becoming one. That to be a real knowledge, to the core. Oh, I know how my partner urinates, so yeah.
And I see more and more couples, particularly the ones who truly value and understand what Shivambu is, they drink each other's Shivambu, and they don't look at it as a sexual practice. Because some people say, well, golden showers is a perverted thing. No, it's a state of mind. If you think it's a perverted thing, it is for you. If it's a holy act, it's a holy act for you. It's sacred.
Yeah, it all comes.
It's how we approach life.
Yeah, it all comes from the lie that the urine is just a waste product, and then oh, you humiliated me. Well, what's one man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
Yeah. Well, what if they all find out someday that we got it right? And all the people are sitting on the fence going, well, that Alexandra and Nicola and Sage, they're different. They're not like normal people. Well, what if we are the correct people? We got it right. They'll come around us.
Yeah, well, we really have to transform normal to be natural, because in today's world being normal is very boring, and I don't like norms very much. To be honest with you.
Have either one of you tried any Oran fasting?
Yeah, 3 days, nearly 2. Well, 2.5 days, I think I did.
Okay. Was it just Oran fasting, or were you cheating and having food?
No, I wasn't. It's you said at the end, what about if you're having some juice? You could have juice. So I did have some lemons in the evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt really good, but I felt not very good since, very mentally. I think it started a cleansing, which didn't finish, probably something like that. So it left the mind in a strange place, and I've been craving the wrong foods and things.
Are you able to notice that you have those unhealthy cravings, and you
Yeah.
don't act on it?
No, because I'm fed up of being so rigid with myself. I've been stern with my food since I'm 20 for fear of catching cancer. So I've been so severe, and I've still grown diseases. So there's no point being so strict.
Okay, so you're off the dogmatic food slavery wheel.
I'm on the relaxed.
Thank you. Well, you look it. Your face is radiating. Your eyes look great.
Yes, the urine makes a big difference.
It does. And this is what I don't know about all of them, but a lot of Hollywood stars, they knew about the urea. So they either used it straight on their face, or they had skin products that had urea on it. And some people say Cleopatra was using it.
Mm.
But this is 2021. We have our own secrets that we use.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing that people are using it all over the place, and that's what proves that it works. That it wasn't used just in a particular dogmatic frame of belief, like in one side of the plant or another side of the plant. It's everywhere in all the sources and probably all the cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everybody did. It's like breeding or something.
Well, I hope you'll keep your eyes and ears open when you go around your town, because I don't know how it works for other people, but a lot of people here in Boulder know me as the urine therapy guru, and I talk about it and I write about it. So I have people coming up to me all the time and going, "I'm so glad I met you. I've been keeping this a secret from my wife, my husband, my family. I felt that their energy of rejecting me and disapproving of me, and they find a safe, comfortable way to discuss it. This is why I like social media, because people can talk about the subject that they can't talk about in their home or their town."
Yeah.
So I have people coming out of the water closet all the time. "Oh my God, there's someone who I can talk about this. I've been doing this secretly for 3 years. Oh, so glad to meet you." So you might find people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the best thing is that like your urine can actually, apart from not taking a supplement, not buying any products, like for example, if somebody's doing farming, they can almost delete completely veterinary services and stuff like that. Because like yesterday, I know I was watching that there was one sheep. She stood on something and something was taken from her like body, and the guy was cutting it and it started to bleed. And then they put some kind of a red or blue thing on top of it. And I was thinking to myself, like, if those people knew, they can just pee all over that, you know, like they don't need to buy all those like medicines.
Well, one of my students, I don't remember where she lives, but her son, a beautiful soul, he found and he saved a baby lamb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And mom realized that she could massage the lamb. The lamb was struggling to live, so she massaged urine on the lamb. And now the lamb's doing awesome. So it's not species specific.
So like for example, if somebody starts to keep a large amount of sheep or goats or chickens or anything, would you maybe advise to like
collect theirs,
replace completely water with urine, or like a half or something like that?
You're going to have to experiment and get back to me on that one. I don't have 400 sheep around I can test that with.
Yeah. But
there are countries like India where they go around with buckets and they collect the urine from the cows and the goats and the camels.
Yeah, and the different urines from different animals can have different effects. Like I think I told you that, but maybe Alexandra wants to hear. Like a wild boar, like if you drink urine for wild boar, it's very good for like kidney stones. If a woman is pregnant, they recommend to drink, or if she wants to get pregnant, elephant urine, And if you want to have like better color of your hair, you take dog's urine and maybe cat's urine, and you put that to ferment, and you take like thing for painting the walls, like but small, and you put it on your hair like that.
That's too much. Animal urine, cats.
Cow's urine too is good for that.
Cat's urine would be very difficult to get as well. You'd have to force the cat to urinate, and that would be stressful for the animal, I would think. Because it does it on a litter, doesn't it? You can't really ask it to do it in a pot. Poor thing.
Yeah, I don't know really how you do it. Practice and I've tried.
There's a woman on YouTube, you might find her video. She healed herself by drinking her dog's urine. And you know the media had a field day with her. But she was teaching it's a universal panacea. I mean, a friend of mine who knew I was in urine therapy and read my book, she ends up going to India and she meets with Ella Tom, the breatharian. Well, while she's in India, she discovered Gomotru, which is the Hindu word for cow urine. So she brings me back a pint of cow urine, think I'd be delighted. Well, the first thing I realized that when I sniffed it, I'm going, this smells like the floor of a barn. I mean, it smells like an animal place. And then when I drank it, oh my God, I was back in the barn with all the animals, and I couldn't stand it. So I gave it to my plants. Or I washed my hands with it. But I'm not a fan of any other urine than humans. That's just where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and what people are doing. Yeah, I never thought of using animals urine, but I don't know, when I heard like that people are using elephant urine, it's like, how many people must have died to get to know that knowledge? Like you come to the big elephant with the glass and like, can you pee for me? Oh no, and he just steps on you, and that is no more you anymore.
Yeah, I guess you got to know your elephant. You're not going to be following on elephants with the cup. How about you? What about you?
Yeah.
So we're going to come to the close of the class. Do you have any last questions or comments for our viewers, or questions from me?
About 2,000 questions, so I think they'll have to wait.
Okay, well, if you want to have that consultation, then we can go through them, whatever works for you.
Yes, that'd be good. Thanks.
Wonderful. How about you, Nicola?
Well, I kind of go with the flow. Like I always give me questions. I don't know. I was reading your book a little bit, and I'm gonna read other things. So.
Okay. And I'll do last minute announcements and close out the call. I will be putting this on YouTube, so you guys will get the link. This Saturday, which is in 2 days, is the World Urine Therapy Conference call number 12. We always have a lot of urine therapy experts and writers on the call, so you get to actually talk with some of your favorites. And you get to share whatever you want to. We usually average anywhere from 12 to 14. We've had 18 to 20 people shared a screen on Zoom before. So these are all posted on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to attend because I'm going to some vision coaching, because I have kind of like a little bit of a -1 and maybe -2 on other eye, and I want to correct that with some exercises and these things. And while I'm doing that, would you suggest that maybe I go to urine fast too and put urine in my eyes, like while I'm doing exercises?
Yeah, are you by yourself or are you with other people?
Well, I'm gonna be by myself doing exercises at home, but while I'm there, I'm gonna get like book of exercises and something. If you heard about Leo Angard, it's a very famous vision coach, and he's going like everywhere. And he was in Croatia, now he's in Serbia. It's very expensive to get to his. I hardly collected the money. It took me a long time.
Yeah, so you could do that. Oops.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too, and maybe I can.
Or you can do goggles. Have you ever heard of goggles protocol with goggles?
Like those, I have them there below the laptop.
Like swimmers goggles. They just go over the eye.
Yeah,
this guy named George Johnson, he uses his pen name on Facebook as We Love All. And so I started experimenting with it, and it holds the urine over your eyes. It's a great suction. you can't see much, but you only hold it there for 5 to 10 minutes and then you take it off.
Oh,
And this way your eyes are submersed in the urine for a little longer period. But then it's a lot more than an eye cup.
And I was watching one guy who said that like if you feel bored just waiting, just jump into some swimming pool and just swim. And when you come out, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice. And I can see like pretty lady on the other side or something.
Yeah, that got you out pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to keep doing the classes on Tuesdays and Fridays, unless like this last week, Natalie couldn't make it and some other people couldn't make it. So thanks for being flexible, and we can change the date and time.
so you haven't got one tomorrow then?
No,
No.
the next one is going to be Tuesday and Friday. Let me double check. I think I got clients all day tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Client-
thought, yeah.
Yeah, I got clients tomorrow, so we're not going to have it.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't make it for today because of the sheep keeping, but I thought I'm gonna stay 2 days, but they said only once, so I can be here.
Yeah, once you're a sheep guy, you never go back. I don't know how that works.
Mm.
All right, guys, much love and blessings
Yeah,
to
thank you very much. Thanks for that. Thank you.
Love you guys. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.